Hello, and welcome to the Career Compass program, which includes online learning sessions, podcasts, videos, webinars, white papers, and whiteboard videos, all specifically designed for NAVFAC. Please check the Career Compass Resource Center, or CCRC, often for updates and new content to support your learning. This content will assist with learning and development within the 20 non-technical competencies outlined in the Workforce Development Strategy. Today's topic is, what does initiative look like? In support of the initiative competency. In this video, we will discuss three things: how to identify potential initiatives, how to drive your initiative to action, and how to promote your initiative. To get the most out of this video, please visit the CCRC for a copy of the workbook that accompanies their viewing of this video. Let's start with a reminder of the simple definition. Initiative is defined as an introductory step, the energy or aptitude displayed in initiation of action. Initiative is related to the word initiate or start. Words such as self-starter and self-motivated are connected to initiative. Using your initiative means being the person to seize an idea and get it off the ground, often before it's been asked for. However you define it, initiative is about proposing change. Now that we've defined initiative, how do you choose an initiative? We suggest a 6-step process. Let's start by reviewing the first 3 here. Step 1. Know the organizational mission. Truly understanding NAVFAC's mission will help you better understand what NAVFAC does, its goals, and the strategies being adopted to achieve these goals. Step 2. Immerse yourself in the process. To truly become a part of NAVFAC's success, fully immerse yourself in the processes which you and your team work on. The more you immerse yourself in these processes, the better you will understand them. Step 3. Understand the customer requirements. Truly understanding the warfighter's requirements will help you find improvements. So put yourself in their shoes and maintain an open line of communication with everyone around you to help you better understand the warfighter's requirements. You could start by looking for organizational procedures and policies issues to resolve. Ask yourself, what could be obstructing productivity at NAVFAC? What part of the work is frustrating? Are there any minor issues which could become major blocks in the future? Remember, initiatives don't have to be huge. Start with something small that's easy to plan and apply. The 4th step is to spot the gaps. Success always boils down to finding an alternative, improved path. As you immerse yourself into various processes and gain deeper understanding, identify the performance gaps in these processes. As you learn about these gaps and shortcomings, start thinking of better ways to follow these processes. Step 5. Define the initiative. Your detailed understanding of the warfighter's requirements will guide you. Now's the time to define and document the improvement you have in mind. You could write it in a Word doc, spreadsheet, on slides, as a flowchart, or any other way that helps others visualize your idea. Step 6. Communicate with clarity. Discuss these initiatives with your colleagues and team members, and seek feedback to formalize on these initiatives. Getting buy-in is crucial to making your ideas a success. We've covered the 6-step process for choosing an initiative. However, taking initiative takes considerable time and energy, so it's important to determine if the initiatives are worth the effort. In your workbook, answer these 4 questions before you decide on taking action toward your initiative. I recommend that you pause the video and then return to the video when you are ready. 1. Do I have sufficient interest and professional skills to lead the initiative? 2. Do I have the required time and assets to accomplish the initiative? 3. Who gets affected by the initiative? 4. Whom do I need on board to carry forward the initiative? In addition to the 4 questions we just discussed, it's important to consider the barriers you may face while taking initiative. For example, you may be lacking the skills and proficiency to handle the new initiative. In addition, a lack of communication with your colleagues, and especially the decision makers, may hinder the approval for your initiative. Finally, you may face resistance to change because it's sometimes difficult to move away from the routine and adapt to a new process. So clearly think through any barriers before moving forward by jotting some notes in your workbook. I recommend that you pause the video and then return when you are ready. Once you choose your initiative and are confident you can overcome the barriers, how can you drive the initiative? There are 5 steps. 1. Define the scope. 2. Identify and assess available data. 3. Refine the data. 4. Apply a tailored approach to identify actionable insights. 5. Integrate empirical evidence to update processes and develop a way ahead. Let's go through the 5 steps one by one. To drive initiative, the first step is to define the initiative scope. This means defining how big the initiative is, the changes it would create, and the impact on those around you. For these next slides, we'll use the same initiative example, recycling glass bottles. Defining the scope for this would likely include identifying if the recycling will happen in just one building or all of the buildings. In addition, defining the scope would clarify if the recycling containers will be just on one floor of a building or multiple floors of a building. In your workbook, take a few minutes and jot down some notes on an initiative idea you may have. First, write down your initiative idea with just a few sentences or key words. Then, in the next section, define the scope. I recommend that you pause the video and then return when you are ready. The second step to driving an initiative is to identify and assess the available data. To do this, first gather and generate data across all the relevant sources you have. Once that's done, align the data to the initiative requirements to ensure that the data you have fulfills the actual requirements. Using the glass recycling example, the data to gather and align could be: is glass currently being recycled? How often is it collected? Where are the recycling receptacles located in each building? In your workbook, take a few minutes and jot down some notes on the initiative idea you have. What data do you need to drive your initiative to action? I recommend that you pause the video and then return when you are ready. The third step to driving an initiative involves the refining of the data. This means checking the source of the data to ensure it's accurate. In the glass recycling example, let's say your data from the facilities teams says that there are no recycling receptacles in the building. Yet you see a small box in the kitchen where someone marked glass recycling in their handwriting. Although facilities is correct in saying that there are no formal recycling bins, it's also correct that there is an informal recycling system created by a NAVFAC employee. Validating the data tells you that there is some interest, yet no formal tools to recycle glass. In your workbook, take a few minutes and jot down some notes on the initiative idea you have. What data do you need validated? I recommend that you pause the video and then return when you are ready. The fourth step applies a tailored approach to identify actionable insights from the data. In other words, how to identify possible action steps based on the validated data from Step 3. In the recycling glass example, we know there is no formal recycling system, yet some people are doing it on their own with cardboard boxes. One possible action would be to talk to the person who created the boxes to learn what else they're doing. Another possible action is to ask facilities why there are no formal recycling bins in the building. Perhaps they say that the bins can't be located on each floor. Both of these actions could give you ideas to drive your initiative forward. In your workbook, take a few minutes and jot down some notes on the initiative idea you have. What conclusions can you draw based on your validated data? I recommend that you pause the video and then return when you are ready. The fifth and final step involves integrating the data insights to update the processes and develop a way ahead. In the glass recycling example, this could mean writing down suggestions that would allow facilities to bring in bins to the building door instead of on each floor. In your workbook, take a few minutes and jot down some notes on the initiative idea you have. How can you drive your initiative to action? I recommend that you pause the video and then return when you are ready. Thank you for going through the 5 steps of driving initiative. Now let's discuss what it means to promote those driving initiatives. You are probably wondering, how do you do this? I'm glad that you are asking that question. There are 4 ways to promote initiative, and we are now going to go through each one of those ways. In your workbook, you'll find space to write down some thoughts or ideas that come to mind as we go through these 4 ways to promote initiative. Before implementing the initiative, create a test run or pilot. Experiential learning is critical, and implementing an initiative will help you test what's working and not working. After your test run, inspire people by presenting a compelling vision for the future. Start with a narrative or story that clearly articulates the big picture. In the glass recycling example, the narrative could focus on protecting the oceans from pollution, which helps the Navy perform at a high level. Next, provide regular communications. Be clear and consistent, so make sure all your communications tie back to the narrative you developed. Note that you will not have all the answers, so it's important to focus on what you know and be candid about what you don't. Finally, don't forget to articulate, "What's in it for me?" If employees understand what's in it for them personally, you're more likely to see individuals commit to the initiative. Finally, find creative ways to involve your team in the initiative. It's important to solicit feedback and engage people in the process to help build ownership in the initiative. In our glass recycling example, find other people who are passionate about recycling and protecting the ocean. Their passion will help you promote your initiative. We've covered a lot in this course, including how to choose an initiative, how to drive an initiative, and how to promote an initiative. As we wrap up, remember that initiative is about having the idea and implementing it. It is a first in a series of steps to improve the productivity and efficiency within your organization and team. Thank you for participating today. Be sure to follow the instructions on this page to submit your self-certification for this course. Thank you for watching this video lesson. We hope that you gleaned useful and helpful information. If you have any questions, please contact your local civilian training advocate also known as your local BD17 representative, or contact HQ's BD17 at NAVFAC HQ Total Force Development at Navy.mil.